We hope you prepared for more fight nights.
You know, I'm really happy that Priest finally won a match here, because I actually really like Priest personally. It's one of my favorite classes to use, and to see it actually win a game and now get to be played again, it's pretty exciting for me.
It is pretty awesome. You know, we get another game on Priest. I think that's great. We get to see DuckWing play it more, who was, you know, one of the foremost players of it. It'll be like a, you know, a little clinic.
Yeah, and he's going up against Shaman, a very popular archetype, something that overall, if you look at the history of Fight Nights, once Mage was nerfed, since then, I think Shaman might have been the highest performing deck overall at Fight Nights.
Yeah, you know, Shaman
it's really done well.
Is so consistent. It has a chance to beat everything, and it does it in a way that isn't like Warlock aggro, and you know, it actually, you know, builds resources, and you know, you can make good decisions and sort of play based upon what your opponent's doing.
I feel like it really rewards extremely strong players. I really do. If you get very good at playing Shaman, it really rewards you a lot. Like you're going to pick up way more wins, because you know when do you use, you know, like your Rockbiter weapon versus a Lightning Bolt and that type of thing. And sometimes that can be hard to decide, but we'll see how well Puffin can play it.
You know, and interesting notes about Puffin's deck. You know, he's playing just one Flame Tongue Totem, not two. One Argent Squire instead of two as well, but he's got the double Defender of Argus, the Doomhammer, and the Alakir.
Yep, so nothing too weird. Nothing too bonkers in there. Of course, we just did see DuckWingFace Priest, so we'll see what he wants to mulligan coming up here.
So he's got a Cabal Shadow Priest in his opening hand, which is one of the premier cards for this matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something that he'll want to keep, though.
I think you have to throw it back.
Yeah, you know,
really
having two in your opening hand would be pretty disastrous. So, you know, getting rid of one and at least getting something else that'll help you early. It's a card that you want to draw, but you want to draw it later.
These two are a little bit harder. They don't complement each other, and doing something like keeping a silence but not getting a Watcher, that's rough, right? That's kind of a wasted card then, and you're not going to use it too early on against Shaman, so he throws it all back, and I actually like his choice to throw it all back.
Yeah, you know, I think keeping the Power Word Shield would have been interesting, but even that, you need something to play it on. So, you know, he redraws his Cabal Shadow Priest, but he has some early game now, and, you know, who knows how it's going to end up, because, again, very, very reactive cards from Priest, and Puffin starts off with a turn 1 Argent Squire, so he'll have sort of the first say.
It's about as good as you can hope for. And look at this, he draws back the silence with that Watcher, so he's going to have a pretty fantastic turn coming up here, especially if he draws a Northshire Cleric.
Yeah, you know, I wonder if he'll want to reveal the silence onto the Ancient Watcher immediately. He might wait
until there's something worthwhile to kill.
Exactly, but you know, simply taking off the shield off of the Squire and then having it, you know, get hexed as it looked like that might be something that could happen. You know, could be pretty tough. So, you know, Puffin has an option here, and he could coin out Feral Spirit.
I hate doing that, though. You know, you get mana locked at 1 for the next turn.
Yeah, you know, he does have a Rockbiter, though, so he would have some form of removal, but he doesn't know if he's going to have anything to remove. He's playing against Priest. And, you know, if he was playing against Aggro Warlock or something like that, considering he does have the Rockbiter, I think it would be a reasonable play.
Well, he thinks so, too.
He goes for it anyways. I don't like that play usually either. You know, he's seeing, you know, maybe he'll be able to do something with that Rockbiter. If not, it's just going to be, you know, a turn-off.
Well, you know, he does have that silence, so he could start removing these wolves. You know, you silence it, remove a wolf, heal. Not a bad turn. Of course, with that Rockbiter, he could take it out with the other wolf, but
you know, at that point, it would be, you know, a direct 2 for 2. I have to imagine that silencing, attacking, and healing would be the most efficient thing that he could do now, considering that's, you know, the silence has got to do something, and silencing your Ancient Watcher, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, it's really the best move we can hope for. We'll see if that Rockbiter does come out. I would really, truly imagine it's going to, and it's funny because we're just kind of, it was like everything was a tie so far. It's like we're starting over on turn 4.
Oh man, and he draws the Unbound Elemental. If he had had it last turn, coin Unbound Elemental into the Feral Spirit would have been insane. Of course, it would have gotten taken out by the silence. It would have actually ended up worse. So
that's right. Actually, he's actually kind of lucky in that regard, isn't he?
Yeah, you know, Puffin, maybe he realizes that that's what would have happened, and you know, I wonder if he is going to Earthshock this Argent Squire. He just picked it up off of the...
He knows that it's an Earth Shock. Like, I looked, and DuckWingFace, he touched the card in his hand as soon as it came in and scratched his head and looked like he was thinking about it. And Puffin's eyes darted over and he watched. So he has to know, oh, you're at 1 mana and you just did that to me? That's an Earth Shock.
Yeah,
that's a little tell.
He's certainly wondering, and the fact that he's still on this turn, he could just pass the turn and then think about the cards that he just drew later. But the fact that he's still on this turn, of course, is revealing, certainly now the fact that he's targets it's an Earth Shock.
It'd be funny if he lightning bolt that, huh? It would not be the best play ever.
It would be something. It would definitely be something.
Hey, there it is.
I think the reason he, did it now was just to, make sure that it, stays off the board, away from being buffed or anything like that. The Earth Shock would be able to kill it anyways, but second Thought Steal number 2 coming out. So if there is if there's no overload, that is something that the Cabal Shadow Priest will be able to steal next turn.
Oh my god, you're right. And he has a Lightning Storm, as hilarious as that is. So the turn after that,
he gets a Lightning Bolt. He probably...
I don't think he's going to use it.
You don't think he's going to use it?
No, because he has Fire Elemental for turn 6. I think he goes Totem, maybe the Blood Mage, possibly if he wants to cycle that through. But I think for sure he is not going to use Lightning Bolt, which means that gets stolen.
And, the Cabal Shadow Priest stealing his Unbound Elemental while he has a Lightning Storm in hand and another Unbound Elemental.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Shaman mirror match.
Oh, it looks like he actually is going to use it. And look at DuckWingFace shook his head. He's like, oh, darn.
It of course is the right play. It is. Absolutely was the right thing to do.
And I think it's not even, even not knowing about this, it's actually still fine. But, hey.
Puffin's, even though his guy gets stolen, he's definitely, you can see it on his face. He's pretty happy about, what happened in that particular turn. He can Earthshock and Hex and still be doing great on board. But Duckwing has a lot of gas in the tank, and, Puffin is not pressuring to kill him yet anyways.
And in fact, this is... the amount of cards in DuckWingFace's hand, and the fact that the Shaman deck hasn't built up a big enough board yet, like, there is no chance of him killing him anytime soon. And this isn't even like the combo-y type of deck, the one with Leroy and Wind Fury that I believe that you were playing. So
yeah,
it's going to be a long, long game for him if he's going to win.
If Puffin hiccups on pressure for enough time, it definitely will end up where Duckwing can start healing himself up and eventually just get completely out of range.
Well, let's see here.
He draws another Shadow or Death, so, he's not going to have any trouble with Fire Elementals this game. That's certainly not going to be, a concern that he has. He might be thinking about playing both the Unbound and the Defender right now. I wouldn't necessarily think that that's bad. It's an option that he has. He's possibly also thinking about Lightning Storming. He just plays to play the minions in the board. Okay. Considering his opponent only has 2 cards left, I actually think this is a great play. It's going to trade resources for resources. Ooh, Puffin gets a nice top deck, though. A very, very gassy card in Azure Drake.
Well, does he use Fire Elemental to help clear out this board? Or does he cast the Twilight Drake, or the Azure Drake, rather, and see what he gets? I think he's going to use Fire Elemental, but that's going to be removed very easily.
If he does play the Fire Elemental, it's actually going to be a tempo loss for him. The Azure Drake, even though it's smaller and doesn't help him kill anything, will be more difficult to remove off of the board. Either way, he's definitely going to be in a tough spot. Duckwing kind of has answers ready to go. Puffin is presenting things that he can deal with, at least so far. The pressure has been there, but it's basically stopped right now. Duckwing probably won't take a single point of damage this turn, maybe just the 1.
Yeah, I'm imagining it's probably going to be that 1 point. And you know what? Looking at this, even though Puffin's having some good plays and trying to develop this board and whatnot, just looking at the hand of DuckWingFace, I've played a lot of Priests. I have to say, when you have Wild Pyromancer and 2 Northshire Clerics in your hand, you need about 1 more card called Circle Healing, and you can just kind of go off and refill your hand. So it doesn't even matter how many cards he's spending per turn right now. He is going to be ahead in cards probably for the entire game.
Yeah, he's thinking about drawing even more cards. He is thinking about playing the Wild Pyromancer and then casting his Shadow or Death. If he were to do that, it would kill the totem and give him an opportunity to heal, to play a Northshire Cleric and heal one of his minions. I'm not sure which one he'll heal. Probably he'll heal the Wild Pyro because he'll be trading the Defender of Argus anyways. I don't think he should Lightning Storm, though. He might go for it anyways, and I think that is almost certainly the wrong play because Shadow or Death only kills Fire Elemental his whole deck.
Yes, yes. I really like the Shadow or Death here, and it looks like he does too.
Yeah, the Lightning Storm is something that he can, sort of do later. As it stands, he's going to have a very, very good board presence and still have tons of answers in hand ready to go. It's going to be very, very difficult for Puffin to win this game.
It certainly is. With that other Northstride Cleric in hand, the fact that he has the mind control, just everything working out so well for him. But you know what? Let's see. With the Azure Drake plus Earthshock, that's actually a pretty good draw.
It is pretty interesting. It gives him, more than just one option, which is certainly where he wants to be. He needs as much as he can get. It actually works out and gets to clear out what's there right now. And that's actually going to be great. The Azure Drake with that 4 health means the other death can't take it out. Lightning Storm is going to be short. Ooh, he does get a Holy Fire, though.
I think without any doubt, you go ahead, you kill that off, and then, yeah, he's going to heal that totem, man. This is awesome, awesome turn for him to be able to draw 2 cards.
He just continues to clear out his opponent's board. Next turn, he's going to be on 10 mana. If something like Alec here were to show himself, it would be immediately stolen. At this point, Puffin's got next to nothing.
Yeah, he needs to roll a Spell Power Totem, I feel like, right now. I think that's quite important so he can actually get rid of these 2 Northstride Clerics. He doesn't get it. He could roll high. The thing is, he's just making damage for his opponent to be able to heal.
Yeah, and we're seeing now why Puffin didn't want to run this deck out last time. It's definitely, again, it's just something that you can just run afoul of too many things in the priest deck. It has so many answers that directly counter what you could possibly play. It's hard to keep that early pressure up and then still have enough gas to close it out.
Well, let's see what he wants to do here. Like, he could go for a Flame Tongue Totem next to that Taunt Tome, but I kind of like this play if it rolls high. And it rolls high on both. That's really nice. That was an important moment there for Puffin, I'd say.
It's definitely something. I mean, his opponent only has 1 card in hand. He's, not done yet by a long shot. He's going to get the Twilight Drake out of his hand by the look of it now while he can. He still has an opportunity to Shadow Word Pain as well after that. Heal himself up even further. And even though it was a nice roll and it was a small moral victory, I'm pretty sure the total victory is going to end up going to DuckWingFace.
Yeah, it truly is looking like that. And especially when you look at his hand, he can steal anything big and anything small, he can wipe out countless times with what he's got. So,
now that his opponent, he draws the Doomhammer, he would have had to directly gas into probably, exactly, his other Earthshock. I think he's only played 1 so far.
Oh boy. You know what's going to happen this next turn, don't you, Reels?
I think something along the lines of a Holy Nova might come out.
A Holy Nova definitely could. If he just kills this totem, he gets to Shadow Word Death the Drake, which is pretty nice.
That is actually very interesting. And by Holy Novaing, he'll still be able to do that.
And he'll be able to kill off the totem as well.
He'll be able to just have it all.
He can have everything. This is what happens when you get to draw that many cards. So, a really good job here by DuckWingFace. And he might actually be sealing the deal for your team already.
This might sort of put the initial nail in the coffin, put the series at 3-0.
Like, yeah, the dirt is already being filled into the hole. It's just how much dirt.
Yep, and, probably Alec here will be played here and just slammed in twice to the face and hope that the Divine Shield holds up. Of course, it's going to just get taken. It's going to become, yet again, DuckWingFaces.
Yeah.
He takes the Lightning Storms. He takes the Unbound Elementals. Your Blood Mage Thalnos. I'd love to have that.
Yeah, why not?
And, it definitely, he doesn't go for it. He actually fears the mind control.
Wow. Well, that was a very intuitive play, I guess, by Puffin. But what's his plan then? How is he going to play around this card if he expects it to be there?
I don't think there is any way to play around it. I think at this point the game is just formalities. But Puffin, to his credit, isn't giving up yet. It's certainly there. Is some wisdom there. You shouldn't. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah. And
anything could happen. Unfortunately, this game is still not going to work out in his favor. He draws the right answer for Sylvanas, but
I mean, he can totem and he can use the Hex and he can play his Doomhammer out at least.
He certainly can, and he'll still have enough mana for Alakir next turn. The outlook still not good, but I mean, it's something. He's not dead yet.
Still not playing the Doomhammer. He's not afraid of Harrison Jones, is he? Like, we've seen this deck from DuckWingFace a few times.
Maybe he just wants to lose really slowly. And, he's afraid of, playing anything out that can be so massively handled.
Oh, okay.
But of course, you know, at this point you have to just throw it all out there and hope that, you know, your opponent doesn't have anything.
Well, right now DuckWingFace just kind of looking at what he's got, waiting for the Shaman to make his next move so he can ruin his day once again.
I got this.
Looks like he wants to clear some totems out, which I think is completely fine. He can really take his time because he is playing Priest here. Like, the amount of Priest games that actually go down to the last cards in the deck is surprisingly high, because this is really the best way to play Priest.
Yeah, you know, it is ultimately a deck of answers, and, you know, that does mean that you sometimes just have all the wrong answers. You know, in this case, this game has worked out very, very well for him, but you know, he still doesn't have a lot of things to just finish the game. You know, there's no Leroy Shadow Step, you know, Unleash the Hounds combo to close out the game. He's, you know, definitely very methodical. It's, you know, very, you know, sort of slow in a way, but, you know, it can get the job done. It's not done just yet, but, you know, still on the way.
It's
and
almost close enough to done.
He's back up to 30 health. It's going to be a very, very long road for Puffin. He has his 2 best win conditions in hand.
I think he's like trying to wait maybe for some way to burst him out. The thing is, he's already lost his 1 Flame Tongue Totem. I guess he does have 2 Rockbiter weapons, and that can be a lot of bursts coming out, but I feel like he would have at least played the Doomhammer by now.
Yeah, you know, the Doomhammer gets to do something over, you know, many multiple turns, theoretically, and
gives him some sort of option.
You can use the Rockbiter with it, you know, whenever you draw it with that one. You know, Alakir, of course, he is concerned about the mind control, so, you know, it makes a little more sense there, but he's going to go ahead and taunt up. And I think that he's just going to sort of, he doesn't want to sort of waste any larger removal on these small minions that he already has handled. And, you know, another Defender of Argus. Defender of Argus number 2 comes out for Puffin. It's going to make his guys a little bit larger, but, you know, he's still going to be, he could trade his totem and give up, you know, or give up his totem and, you know, a little damage onto his other Defender of Argus in order to kill off that Sun Fury, but, you know, the other minions of his opponent are still going to live on.
Well, I mean, I guess if he uses Alakir here, he can use Alakir plus Defender to kill that off, and then use Alakir to kill the other, and it's kind of small. Like, do you really mind control that? Is a question then.
Right, right. You know, Defender plus Doomhammer is an option too, but he's looking for a totem. Of course, he doesn't have anything to necessarily use with it besides maybe the Defender. He's just going to go for Alakir. He says, now's the time. If you have it, you have it. You know, it's not going to be a very big guy anyway.
Yeah, especially if you actually end up killing off this other Sun Fury, which it looks like he is going to end up doing.
So, you know, definitely in terms of the resource war, this is, you know, like the, arguably, like, almost certainly the most efficient way of doing it. He gets a circle of healing, so he can actually bash down creatures and then heal both of his guys up.
Oh, man. Looks like he does want a mind control. So, you are completely right on this. He can kill everything here. Well, no, he shouldn't do like that if he's going to circle, but I guess that's not really what he wants to do here.
Yeah, he can circle and then, you know, he's just going to leave that guy in play and then circle. Seems good enough. He's not concerned about the 1/1 totem. I guess he doesn't need to be. You know, his opponent has already played things like Hex and, you know, Earthshock, so.
Thing is, that's also 10 damage out there, and he's only at 17 at this point, so it's getting kind of hard, but you know what? This was a pretty good draw, I guess. If he doesn't have...
It's something, but it's almost nothing. I mean, Karen, Defender of Argus, is something, but we know that, you know, his opponent has a silence in hand. If he
That's true. He does have that
in.
silence that he just drew. Oh, God, and that Karn is the juiciest silence target I've ever seen.
It is pretty juicy, and, you know, he can just silence double AE if he wants. You know, there's a good chance, not a guaranteed chance, but a good chance that he'll kill both minions, or, you know, the Cairn as well as the other minions at that point. Well, the Cairn might survive with 1 life, you know, but it's definitely, silence seems like the right way to go.
Silence plus 1 of the AoEs is like a pretty darn strong play, because then you can go to face for 10 if you want. You've already dealt 2 more, leaves him at 5. And in fact, he's actually just going to go ahead and do it.
You know,
surprised he didn't roll
it'll die. It does. His opponent has, at this point, just completely nothing. I mean, he could have healed his opponent.
Yeah, you know, I guess he could have done that.
The only valid target in you know, remaining in the game.
What's he gonna draw? Well, I mean, I guess he lives a little bit longer, right?
And he still refuses to equip.
No, that Doomhammer's staying in hand. Hey, a taunt totem.
Ah, taunt totem, double taunt.
Yeah. Look at that, and that's a pretty dead draw.
Build your own Defender of Argus.
Yeah. Well, you know, unfortunately for him, even though this Ascension's going to keep him alive for a moment, he can just heal this stuff up.
Yeah, there's, you know, not much left. He just plays his last circle of healing, picks his last stuff up, just make sure that he doesn't suddenly lose his creatures, you know, to something like a lightning storm and have it somehow become a game again.
It looks like that's it. That is not a card that's going to win him the game reels.
It
and this
certainly
means
is not.
that you guys have actually already won this week.
Hey, we did it.
Wow. Well, I got to say, the Priest deck really did deliver here today.
I like it a lot. As you can see, it's really, really slow sometimes. But
It certainly
Puffin,
is.
He's been practicing his math and Sudoku.
That's Sudoku right there, indeed. It all added up to 9 or something like that. All right, so DuckWingFace ends up taking it 3-1. Very strong play. The Priest deck
Two
really
wins for the
delivering.
Priest.
Yeah. Hey, man, he doubled up on Priest. A lot of people probably doubted him and thought, you know, what are you doing with this double Priest play? But he showed us that he really knows how to play it. I think that his decisions were really fantastic with Priest throughout the match.
It was actually really good. You know, yesterday he felt that he was nervous and that he made a couple of mistakes. We reviewed sort of the match as you know, it went yesterday with him, and you know, he felt like he was nervous and he didn't play like he normally did. And you know, he was back to his usual self today for sure.
All right, so let's go ahead, jump to a quick commercial break, and we'll get that loser interview, as well as, you know what, why don't you go ahead and interview your teammate?
Sounds good to me.
And here we are with Puffin again at the losers interview. I don't think you wanted to be here, but
no, definitely
well,
not.
You made it. So you were kind of the player that people regard as one that knew how to play all the different decks and everything. And did you think about Priest among all the other ones?
As a deck for me to play?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, it didn't seem that bad when...
I don't play Priest.
You don't play
much,
Priest?
No.
Wow.
That's like the only class I haven't really played very much, aside from like some arena games here and there. But
how do you feel your prejudice has come around and beat you up a little bit?
I still think Priest is a little too unreliable. I mean, it's okay in a tournament format, but like definitely not on ladder. Like, it's just a really hard deck to play right now.
Well, if it's hard to play, I guess the opponent did pretty well, you think?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely played well. I mean, DuckWing's one of the best Priest players around, and I actually didn't want to play against him because I had a hard time playing against Priest with my composition, which is why I was trying to play into Forsen. I thought my decks matched better with Forsen's, and that proved to be the case here.
Well, I thought you played pretty well. It's pretty hopeless to face a Priest who has creatures against your no creatures and cards, a lot of them, against, well, none of yours. So I've had that feeling, and I know it sucks, but well, sometimes you're the Priest, and maybe that's your cue, you know. Get into the Priest class a little bit.
I'll definitely try to play more Priest.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna happen to this shirt after this average performance? +1, -1.
I'm probably gonna have to switch shirts.
Yeah. Is this becoming one of those bathroom rags?
Probably. I have one that's white, so I'll probably wear that one next time.
Well, we'll see how much better that one does then.
I'm here with DuckWingFace, my teammate and winner of the last match. We got to see a lot of Priest play, more than we've seen, and you picked up 2 wins with Priest, and I don't think it had any at Fight Night before that.
Yeah, I think our teammate DuckWingFace played it in a previous season, one of my older lists, which he also had success with. Now last season when I played Priest against, was it Chucky's Rogue? It didn't go so well. I was quite nervous and I made a few misplays, which got me tilted through the rest of the series. But I feel like I showed that Priest can perform competitively, but yeah, it's hard to pull it off.
For sure. Yesterday, you looked a bit nervous. You could kind of see it on camera, and it looked like you made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
What changed from yesterday to today that let you play well and ended up with a win?
Well, I'll give most of the thanks to my team. Like, been really supportive and trying to make me feel more comfortable in this new environment, which this is for me. And yeah, just try to stay focused on the game and not think so much about anything else. And then yeah, things.
So the outlook now, ManaGrind is up 3-0 for the season, and they certainly still have a chance at least for 5-0. Is that something that you think is in the cards?
I mean, we'll see. Next player up is Forsen, which you know is quite the creative guy. So yeah, I think it's definitely in the cards. We'll see how it unfolds, though.
So, after I won my match, my first match won at Fight Night, yours now as well, Kripparrian graciously offered me the ears. Would you like them?
I would love to receive the great honor of having those ears.
They are definitely yours. Have at it.
Thank you.
Well, without further ado, Dan, take it away.
All right, so ManaGrind has won the series overall 3-0 for now, but we have an important rematch because there's still money to be won. Forsen, last time KitKats was able to take you out in a pretty close series coming down to the wire. This time, are you feeling to continue the 5-0 dream for your team?
Yeah, I really feel the pressure of winning this game. I think that the KitKats is still their best player, and I think that the last series we had really proves it, like the really close games, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game.
KitKats, you were saying that Forsen is one of the scariest members on ManaGrind to play. After facing him once before, do you still feel the same way?
I absolutely still feel the same way. I think he's an incredible player, and yeah, his type of style is just what I'm weakest against.
This is where the pain train stops for ManaGrind. This is where Clarity holds their ground and retains their pride, correct?
Yes, this is where we're going for pride, since ManaGrind has already crushed us, and just, you know, hope we can save some face.
All right, well, indeed, tomorrow night we'll see these two face off. Shake hands, gentlemen. And good luck tomorrow. We'll see you for another episode of Fight Night. See you guys next time.